Welcome back to the show, everybody. The one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. The squads are in, the most dangerous hands in the multiverse. And ladies and gentlemen, you just saw that. No, hold up. Hold up. No, we finna do this the right way. It ain't no other way to do it right, baby. Let's do this the right way. Welcome back to the show. Yeah, you know who they is. You know what these are. You fear these. I am the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. Just in case you've forgotten. Yes, I am very excited about this video we just watched. I'm finally glad we're at a point where this is a thing that exists. But given what this is, given where we are and given where we at, and given maybe there are some people who may be jumping right into this party right now, like, yo, what is this dude on the internet talking about? Why is he so excited about a collection of Breakers games? Because Breakers is one of the most greatest fighting games ever because of the things that it brings, which make it a special fighting game in which you need to experience if you never have before. However, I feel that because I've had some time to stew on this, to think about how I want to present this to the streets, is we kind of need a timeline to how we ended up here. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to take Magdalene. I'm going to go sit her down for a moment because I need my whole body free because I got to be expressive about what's about to come out. So, let me get loose. Let me get wicked with it, baby, because we have got a tale to tell. So, a while back, live right here on Team GRF TV, we had a conversation about something. The release of Breakers on Dreamcast by a small indie group has been putting out a lot of things, and given what it was that I learned about the collection and its quality, of asking why would you sit up here and take a commercial emulator, put it on a CD, up it a little bit, and then release Breakers and not Breakers Revenge? Because see, here's thing number one that anybody who doesn't know anything about Breakers, or who knows about it, who may not know. Let's put it to you this way. This is Breakers. This is Breakers Revenge. Do you want to know what the difference is between this game and this game? A character and a boss code. That is the difference between Breakers and Breakers Revenge. Breakers and Breakers Revenge is not some World Warrior, the Championship Edition thing at all. It is simply the addition of Sazo and the addition of Baihu as a playable boss character. I got me some nunchucks. Say it twice, just to enunciate where it is that we are. That's the difference between Breakers and Breakers Revenge. So it was kind of weird when you released Breakers because it was on the NEOGEO CD. That's going to come important a little bit later in our video. Just remember that. Breakers was on the NEOGEO CD. Put that in your brain. You're going to need it later. It will be on the test. So, given all of this and its dubious quality of understanding why that was released versus Breakers Revenge, because Breakers Revenge, unfortunately, wasn't on the NEOGEO CD. So, you do what you can with that. It is what it is with that, but I wanted to establish that. And also to establish about what happened to Vert and Guilty cross Breakers. That was a thing that was happening at the end of last year, beginning of this year. Ain't heard nothing from them folks since. They still releasing and doing their stuff with the Dreamcast or whatever. But again, after what I heard about the port to the Dreamcast and its dubious quality and what it was built upon, it was like, I can't support that with $40. So it was what it was with that, and it is what it is. So now that we've established that this is a thing that we have talked about on the show before, let us open another box. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Shmup Gang Proper box. It's another show that we run right here live on Team GRF TV where I talk about shmups and how important they are. One thing I didn't get a chance to cover because of the news and how quick it came out was this game called the Vasara Collection, which is out right now. Some of the best $5 I spent all year. Thanks for that half price, Nintendo. Appreciate the love. Been enjoying me some Vasara Collection and understanding what that was and what it was when it was announced. The Breakers got to come out at some point, because if you didn't know, keep this in your noodle too, Visco Games also produced the Vasara games. So knowing that, that we got collections popping off, like, we in that Breakers, fam, and given The Vasar collection quality is pretty good. The timeless mode I think is pretty dope. I would like to experience that mode in particular on the other system that is on, which is you can get it on Steam, you can get it on PS4, and you can get it on the Vita, which is $2 cheaper than the other versions, but there are reasons behind that, and I will leave that for you. And if we ever investigate the Vasar collection on the Game of Schmuck game proper, we'll take care of that. But given and knowing that this exists and how good the quality is, always room for improvement, we are now going to close the Schmuck Game Proper box because we'll probably cover that at some point. So far, I've explained to you that there is really no difference between Breakers and Breakers Revenge other than the existence of Saizo and Baihu. You now know that the reason this collection exists is because a Sugar collection came out earlier this week and has now set the stage for this thing that the streets have wanted forever. But you may wonder, yo, Trip, you pulled out 2 boxes, you stuffed things into them, literally and figuratively, to explain to you to get to this point where we are now about why this is important and what this needs to do to be a successful collection. Well, I'm glad you asked because, I've got some things to say. Well, I've already said things. I've said things for like 6 minutes now. But we're going to say some more things. How about more things? Yeah, because we got those. So, here we are now with this Breakers collection that we've now been presented about what this thing needs to do. Let's just get this out the way. Online play for everybody who loves it. Here's the thing. If you want to play some Breakers Revenge, dog, somebody's playing Breakers Revenge on the internet right now. They're waiting for you to hit you with everything that is Sho Kamui. So if that's what you want to do, fam, it's over there, homie. And I'm just saying, play you some Breakers Revenge, dog. It's one of my favorite fighters of all time. I'm like, I appreciate it, and I'm like, I got some plans. I've always had plans to want to really try to do something with Breakers, but the things that I could say about Breakers have already been said, and have already been said by people who I respect in the fighting game community. So shout out to all of them. I see you. So I appreciate the love, and I appreciate getting that love back. So that's already been a thing that's been covered. I know what I could do, and probably will. Yet and still, though, understanding that right now you can go get you a fight of Breakers Revenge whenever you want. This is something that needs online play because this is a legal way to play arcade games that, especially for something as big as releasing a collection of these games, which could have possibly been lost to time, you want to get some online play in there. So here is our Breakers collection wish box. I'll pop that open. We're going to put online in there. That's for the hood. That's not for me. I don't really care much. But for you, the hood, because I always hold y'all down, I'm putting it in the wish box. So I'm going to, you know what? The wish box can just say right here. It's an imaginary box, but it's our real dreams and wishes inside the box that was here. Alright? So fine. Box. Alright? So we still got the box open. What else could I put in this? I need this in my Breakers collection wish box that I need. Here's something very important for the people who understand and appreciate this game's history. This game was not always Breakers. It was a game called Crystal Legacy, and I'm probably going to butcher what its original Japanese name that it was in its early build-up to ultimately become Breakers. Senin no Kyo Chicago, I think is what it was, in its early playtesting days and things like that. And the difference between it and Breakers, from what we know, were the characters had different names, slightly different designs. The thing was, I don't know if this was that we don't want people to forget Crystal Legacy was a thing, or just a hee-hee-ha-ha nudge-nudge homage. A lot of the characters, when they face themselves in mirrors in arcade mode, become these characters that they once were in Crystal Legacy. My favorite, of course, being Sherry Tarlar, because I am a Tia Langray main, hold this L bruh. It is what it is. Tia Shibei, she's third best character in the game. It's a universally explained thing. We'll talk about it later. Regardless, one of the things you never could do, until recently with Main Chiefs a couple of years ago, was you could never select your mirror version of your character in any way. There was no code to do it, nothing. You could never select those mirror characters. One of the big important things I would like to put in my Breakers wish box to be able to legally select those characters. They don't do anything different other than being an alternate palette for the character itself, but to be able to select those characters would be a dope thing, because that's a thing that a lot of these collections really miss out on. A big one, when I had this major problem when King of Fighters 97 Global Battle came out and you couldn't select the alternate colors that come depending on whether on which mode you select, which is automatic or extra, is that you can select those characters, you can select those colors unless you selected those things. There are also cheats and emulators that let you select those colors regardless of what mode you select. And I really think that was like a big, huge oversight, because it's a humongous oversight when you literally think about it, because that's something that SNK has never done to that point, and you would really think that somebody at some point would get on that. No. But in my breakers collection box, yeah, I want to be able to select the mirror characters. I want that. That is very, very important to me. Thing is also, something big, but depending on what you want, something small, need a practice mode. Because, we just talked about the King of Fighters 97 global match, and it don't have a practice mode in it. So, yeah, being able to have a practice mode for these games would be wonderful, because it would give players a chance to really explore, and given all the work that has been done over the years by the Breakers community to give you codes within practice mode, and the work that they put in to make that work, to be able to have that in a fully fleshed out product would be one of the most amazing things. And given that timeless mode exists in the Vasara collection, that's one of the things I think that can be done without an issue. So put practice mode in that box. The biggie that Uncle Triple needs is that story time. Again, shout out to the Breakers community one more again for unearthing this information. In the NEOGEO CD version of Breakers, there is a mode called Extra, which completely and utterly turns what is a game that is already at 10 to a game that goes to 10,000. You should go watch some videos. So I ain't even gonna spoil it for you. Just know that in the Breakers on NEOGEO CD sits up here and adds something to that game which completely changes its dimensions in every vector, and something that needs to be experienced. And because of the work of other folks in the Breakers community, they have added those changes to the NBS and AES versions of Breakers Revenge, which means Saizo gets all the stuff that he lost out on because he wasn't a part of the original cast, which completely, again, changes the vector, the way that you think about a game that is already in itself nutso because of the breaker system itself, which I'm not going to go into detail in because people have explained it better than I ever could. But just know, I played enough of Breakers Revenge Extra to be, that needs to be something definitely shoved into the wish box, because people need to experience that. That's something that needs to be experienced. And for the record, because the noodle just brought this up, so I'm just going to let it flow. It's not strange for NEOGEO CD games to have something exclusive that wasn't included in any other version of the game. A big one comes to mind, a game called Neo Turf Masters. There have been other games that have done extra stuff outside of having the arranged music, of having different modes because of what the CD medium can bring to you. But given that, unless you plan on a NEOGEO CDZ or actually emulating it, which is what honestly you probably should do, because no one should have to wait 30 seconds on anything. But I'm just saying, knowing that these things exist, knowing that there is a community who love this game so much to unearth these things, to bring these things, to change what it is that people have loved forever, that's what this collection needs to do. It needs to have all of those things in the wish box. Because look, I'm like, yo, online play, that's just a thing for fighting games. And I'm like, I play this online with some people I love, you know what I'm saying, like to get in the sparring session with the fam, like, yo, and show you what's good with this Breakers. I'm like, yo, practice mode, that's a thing, it's a fighting game. A fully fleshed out practice mode for a game to let people who are new to really experience what Breakers is, that's a wonderful thing. And of course, be able to select those alternate characters, and most importantly, getting extra mode into Breakers Revenge. Like, the streets done it for you. The streets done your job. Like, I'm not sitting up here telling a company how to produce your video game, but you have a whole community that if you reach out to them are willing to give you whatever it is you need to make this happen. Because let's just be for real. I'll say this live. You've been sold a ROM hack before. Real. If you bought a collection or something, you've been sold a ROM hack before. Because in most of those instances, some of those had to be altered in some way that don't work on the original system on which it came on. So it's not like this is some magical law-breaking type of thing. Breaker's Revenge Extra needs to be a thing people experience, and it should not be limited to an emulator on your computer or phone or anything. That having it available in a legal physical product with Visco's blessing, of course, because that's the most important thing, to do that. So I'm really hoping everything in the wish box, because I'm like, I would love that nothing more than the opportunity to actually legally play a Shelly. You know what I'm saying? That would be dope. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I put down is like everything in that wish box. So we're gonna shut that and we're just gonna sit it over there. So we've opened a lot of boxes. We've shoved a lot of our wishes and our dreams in that box, and here's hoping that that QU Bite can sit up here and do that. Because, like, yo, I told you earlier, the Vasar collection is a real good quality. They were also behind making sure that 99 Vitas came to you. So, you know what I'm saying? So they got some pedigree, you know what I'm saying, of bringing it to you. So shout out to Brazil. The Brazil holding down the streets right now, man. Give it up. But yeah, if you need any help or any information about how to get into Breakers, I'll gladly point you in any direction that you need. It's like, yo, it's a big community on Twitter and Discord that they some friendly folks. So it's like, if you're looking for some matches on whether it's your GTPO or your fight Ks or whatever, you can find you a battle and find somebody who will help you get better at a video game that deserves it. Because Breakers, for the one extraordinary thing that it does, it makes the game deep, but that game is like dumb in a magical way. That's magical. Yeah, that's what I want to say. It's dumb in a magical way that makes it magical. Put that on the back of your box. You can have that quote for free. I'll give that to you. Regardless of that, we have got plenty of more show for you. If you made it to the end of this, I have to sit up here and just let you know, I am, of course, the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D, a.k.a. Mr. CRACKCOCINE, hashtag entertainment's #1 dope man, and yes, the baddest monster in existence. Booyah! Always got my back. Squish, Murder, and the squadron, the congregation. Betsy, Janine, Magdalene, the ones, the twos, the threes, and the fours. And most importantly, you. Yeah, you. So, you, if you are unfamiliar and then you made it all the way to the end of this and you trying to figure out what you should do now, that Uncle Trip will help you. Hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Come join the crew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we love to have you. Hit that bell while you at it to know what it is, what we doing, and when we doing it. There are links to my social media. If you got any questions, anything you need to get in there, someone at the comments, you can do that. And of course, if you want to support the show with your monetary value, there are links in which you can do that. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do, yo, that option is open for you. What else you can do, though? Sit back, relax, and stay tuned. That ass in that seat, baby. Just do it. Just don't go nowhere. Just sit down. Don't move. Do nothing. Because we got more show for you. What? What you thought like this was over or something? Hell no. Bang! Like I said, we have got plenty of more show for you. Right after these commercial messages. Oh boy, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this collection. Like I said earlier, man, like, yo, if that Vasar collection is any indication of what quality is, we in for a good show. So hopefully everything that you know that I put in the wish box, I'm gonna actually take that wish box and I'm gonna throw it into the heavens, and we just gonna see what it is that's gonna pop off from that. So like I said, we've got plenty of more shows for all of you, all of y'all, right after these commercial messages.